Hello. Um, I'm here to talk about the new phenomena that has coming forward, which is Guruji and I working with people on the other side. And hold on, I've got this thing kind of going on my computer that's a little bit too much at the moment. So let me see. Okay, so I think that's better. And I wanted to explain how that came forward and what that's about, because I'm sure, I need to tell you that we're just as surprised as probably maybe others are. I don't really know what other people's reactions are at this point, but this was something that came up totally unexpected and without any planning, without any preparation. It's not like we said, "Oh, let's start a business of working with spirits on the other side." Not even anything, even one bit close to that. So, the way I'm going to start out is just by showing you a pendulum, and I don't know if others, there might be a lot of people that have seen a little pendulum. It's just this, it hangs on a chain like that. And so you put it in your hand here. If you can see it goes round and round. And then stops. And then turns the other way, at least for here and for Guruji. That's what takes place with the energy that is very balanced like that. So then it will stop and it'll turn the other way and just keep going. I'm not moving my hand above at all. So, with these particular pendulums, I had one way back and I just never thought much about them. It's been years I haven't touched one, and we just happened across them recently just because we go out and, at some of the shops with, there's not that much to do in Florida, let me tell you. So we go to some of the shops that have crystals or something that has a little bit more of the spirit things, because there's just, that's what, not much else to do here. So anyway, we did get these again just because we thought they were fun, and I overheard someone in the shop that we were at. It said that she asked it questions, and I asked her, "Can you ask it questions?" And she said you could, and we just did fun things like we were going through vitamins and health things and that kind of thing. What you can do is ask it, like I'll ask it something. You can see it's totally still, and now I'm going to ask it like let's see. Okay, this is yes for me. And I did ask it, is there a candle in the room? And there is one sitting right beside me, and it did say yes, there's a candle. It's as simple as that. And then another way, no, basic stuff. But, not wanting to belabor that. What has come from this is, let's see, so we were just having fun with this and just regular health stuff. It's not anything, again, that we're going to advocate. It just was, like I say, out of fun. So what happened is one evening I had a pendulum here that was using just, like I say, here and there. And then I happened to drop it and it broke in half. I still had a little bit hanging there, so it could still work. But I went over to Guruji's that morning and I was telling her that it broke. And she said, "Oh, there's one on the table there and you can go ahead and use that." And it wasn't one I was drawn to because it was kind of a heavy one. Um, it was like a crystal clear one and heavy, and but I said, "Oh no, I'll just get another. I'm having one come." No, she goes, "No, use that one." So, and then she said to me, she goes, "And that one lied to me." And I said, "What? It lied to you?" And so anyway, when I held the crystal, I asked it if it had ever lied to her, and it said yes, it had. And again, a remarkable thing. We were both, "What?" And she goes, "See, I'm not lying that it lied to me." And then I asked it, "Well, are you going to lie to Siddhananda?" And it said no. And I said, "Did you want to stay here at Guruji's?" And it said, "No, it didn't." And I said, "Did you want to go home with Siddhananda?" It said yes. And it just went on and on, where it was very stubborn energy, did not want to be with Guruji or have anything to do with her. And again, this was just so accidental. And anyway, she said, "Maybe there's a spirit in that." And again, I didn't know, can spirits go in these things? I don't know. I've never worked with them. And it felt that like a heaviness to it, kind of hung down straight. And it was saying yes. And anyway, as we kept working with this just out of wonder of it. Well, what is this about? And what came forward that it was the spirit in there that had Guruji had known Guruji from a past life. We got the name, I could think it was Amir, and something about some anger towards Guruji in another life that eventually, and he had witnessed, and she said in that other video, some atrocities and violences towards her where he didn't help her, he felt guilty, and then eventually he did open his heart, and he did become, he wanted a different name, which we gave him, called Adicha, which means son, and he liked that, and we're just doing this with yes and no. And as we were working with him and giving him that name, what happens with the pendulum when they go into stillness, it will be swinging like this, say for instance, and again, I'm not moving my hand, you can see, okay, it's going. And then what happens when they go into stillness, you can see it's almost demonstrating now, which is so bizarre, but you can see how it just goes straight. See how it's not turning now? And which is interesting as I'm speaking about this, that it's happening, but what can I say? It is, and it's straight, and it kind of trembles a little. You can feel it's in a different state, and of quietude. And as I continue to ask, try to ask this particular spirit questions, nothing was coming. All I felt was a deep stillness, because before there was something coming, there was some activity in the pendulum. Anyway, so that particular pendulum we have put aside, and what we're hearing, and again, this is through asking some questions, and I went deeper into this kind of thing than I would have ever chosen, only due to this and trying to research what's happening here, was the date that coming up, which is around September 4th, there's going to be some kind of shift in consciousness then. So there's a lot of, and it's more in consciousness with spirituality and spirit shift, and it sounds like it's a very good thing, and that's why a lot of this is coming forward now. So anyway, we've had another one that this happened to, where we had a pendulum, and all of a sudden it went still, and it was like there was another spirit in it, and we did ask it questions, and then slowly that one actually went out too. And again, this isn't something that we were searching to do, and Guruji, she was saying, well, maybe there's some others that want to come, and since they like to come into, these types of things, maybe we could get some rocks and put them out, and have a room for this kind of thing. They were asking questions, some of them knew us or her, and so, but anyway, the situation with that as well is, with here, what I want to explain a little bit about, is I had a reading prior to this done that came that was saying that I had the ability to be a medium and to be a psychic and a healer. And we've done energy work before, Guruji and I. And honestly, I have never nurtured any of that skill to be a psychic, not even once. It was never in my interest ever. And in fact, none of the phenomena that has come forward has been. And I've had a lot of it. And so anyway, this was said in the reading, and I was like, huh? This, I didn't feel psychic, and, not at all. And what was happening through some of these, also some past life stuff came out just through this that has been, I have to say, really wondrous in a certain way, in the way that how things sync up and carry forward to the next life, and also very, hard, and a lot of clearing that needed to be done there, and which is still in motion, but doing much, 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 much better thanks to grace. And I think that's a player in this, in terms of bringing this forward and what was meant to come forward to clear things away, to, make all move forward. But that being said, so back to the psychic thing, that's what I was told in a reading. And again, I'm not advocating any of this stuff for people to nurture this or do New Age or do readings or do crystals. And, we're just, again, we enjoy energy. What can I say? And that's all that it's ever been with us. We're not, and of course wanting to get people to traverse through their blockages, and if they choose to go to realization or to move to, make progress spiritually. So she was telling me about those rocks. And what was happening with me was, we were just embracing it like, okay, and it was hard for me. I need to say it because it's much that you're very open when you come to that kind of thing. Not to say I've not always been open, but to have your mind open to another. It's like you have to be a cleaned out room in a way, and reflect back whatever it is that they're trying to communicate. And it comes in images, it comes in sometimes letters, it comes in energy, and sometimes in thoughts that come forward as well. But it just comes as well without any of that. It's all that I can explain it. And anyway, so that, like I say, with the openness and hearing things and different things like that, I can't say it's always fun, but I am settling into it more and more. And this work is what it is. We are just here, to embrace what comes forward as it unfolds. With here, also, I can say that I've had a lot of Kriyas for 22 years, and I can't tell you it's been 24/7 for that long, and they have been intense the whole while. And some weakening of my hands and troubles with my hands with pain, but also the Kriyas seem to have diminished greatly. In fact, I don't think they occur hardly at all, really. And now this has come forward as another type of phenomenon. It's a phase, and it'll come and then die away. And if people are interested in it, there's a lot of good satsang in it. Then enjoy. If you get something out of it, wonderful. If it doesn't float your boat, and you don't like it, and you're a skeptic, hey, stay and try to listen or don't. But and I have to say, both Guruji and I are, what the heck? With me, I had to say, is this my imagination? Am I making this up? I don't see how I could. And what happens with the pendulum is, as soon as one drops into stillness, the pendulum stops. When they get stiller, it stops. When they are talking a lot more, it vibrates, moves. There's just, it seems to be that energy that's there that shows that, yes, there is something coming through that, has that type of energy field. So, what is happening is, like I say, we got these rocks. It sounds, whatever, and we have them in one room, and they do come into those rocks, whatever vibration they are attracted to. We do test them, and what happens if there is a spirit in the rock? This will move. If the spirit is not there, if there's nothing there, it's like this, okay, dead. And so we choose the ones where there's movement, and also we need to test for any kind of deceiving spirits, I guess is the word, or spirit that is not looking, for the light, because we already have had some of that and came in a big wave, and we are hoping that this is pretty much going to be the last of it. So, so we have these rocks, and we go there in the morning, and we choose the ones that have movement, and the line is getting longer, I have to say, and we line them up and go through them. And I want to explain a little bit more about what happens to me during this process. I was using the pendulum as a connection to the rock. And again, this is Guruji's creation with these rocks, and all of this is not, that part isn't me at all, and she's the genius behind that, and I'm so grateful. That's why we work well as a team, because she said she's not psychic. She just has very strong perceptions that can mimic being psychic, but it's not the same thing. She never has been. So it is different, but she's there to give the guidance right now, and I am there as a medium. And so we work together, and she has created this very beautiful space, an inviting space, and she wants them to be comfortable and all of that. And I feel so blessed that this has come forward, and I do have a guru that is very open, and okay, let's go ahead and go with this ride and see what takes place. And all I can say is it feels like it's really moving in a very good direction, and it's very blessed direction. So, what happens with me during this process of working with these spirits, I was using the pendulum, and it would move, and then when it was still, it would become stiller, more still, the pendulum, and I could feel the stillness vibrating within me. But a lot of what their spirit was coming through me, almost taking over the body, and um, with emotions and things. And so what I decided to do was to leave the pendulum out of it and to just be a medium, because that's more channeling, and now it has gone into being more psychic, where I don't need, that pendulum. It does seem day by day that that particular ability, I want to say, is becoming more clear. It's changing already. What happens when, let's say, okay, so the rock is chosen, I can feel the energy of it through my body. And then what happens is I can see whatever is being, sometimes hear what is being spoken. Other times, like I say, it just comes. And others, what's happening more and more are pictures are reflected in my mind. And like I say, the lotus of the opening of the heart, the nature images. I've had a ton of imagery when I was younger, and right when I started the journey for years, and now that a lot of that has been cleared out, much of it was of nature, very crisp and clear and unbelievable. And now what's happening, some of those imagery has been, definitely that's been cleared away a lot, fortunately, because it was a bit ungrounding, to say the least, along with a lot of other phenomena. But so anyway, imagery gets reflected kind of like a mirror, your mind is, and so seeing the nature, a lot of the way that it's communicated is through pictures, through energy, through emotion. Not always with words. Sometimes writing comes across an image of that individual's there. I'm not saying anything new about the psychic thing, but I'm trying to explain it. It's new to me. And I think others might be a little perplexed by what's going on here. So that's what's happening. And today it was even more crisp images in the mind of that individual. What they embody, why they've come, just kind of comes. And when this process is taking place, I'm not really hearing what Guruji is saying. And I notice when I watch it back that the response is correct with the person. You can feel that, but really I'm not in touch with what she's saying so much, because I am connected with that energy. And then once we are done with that particular soul or spirit, we move that rock aside, keep them over there, and we go to the next one. And what's happening now is a lot of them want to hang out and just be in the energy. And we would like that as long as they are peaceful and respectful. I think most of them wouldn't mind being there a long time. Some of them want to move on. But anyway, so we are getting a bigger, like a spirit hotel, I guess. And Guruji again thought of this, and she's very just so with her sweetness and compassion to have this housing for them, to like a big cathedral crystal where they can go into each little bit of it, part of it, and maybe stay there. And again, time, who knows what that is in that world. And it is not, it could be, 1,000 years, could be 5 minutes to us. So they might be there a long, long time or a little time. But what I am noticing with the spirits on the other side is that they do remember their past life. I would say it seems like all of them have, mostly. But when you come back in body into more of a solid, so the solid physical form as we have here on this plane, that it is forgotten mostly. Um, and I think Guruji said it beautifully. It's a way to shut that down so that you can be open to this next experience, and lessons can be learned from there. And whatever, you're different. You're different. You're not that same person that you were before. And even if you hear ever of your past story, which I have mine, and it is something else, I'm not that person. Um, and those associated with me in any way that have, been there before are not that person either. We're here to start new. We're here for this new adventure. And that may be interesting to hear. It's not necessary to hear. What I've noticed is that a lot of different things have come to clear, but, it brought, at least for me right now in my life, some understanding of, oh, that's what was there for so long. But that's me in this moment in my life. I do not advocate it. people do what they do, it's their choice, but I'm not here to advocate getting into all that or even to get in touch with spirits or anything. But all I can say is this is coming forward now. Can it be proven? No. I can tell you the pendulum thing and how it moves and the energy of it. Um, no, it can't be proven. There's a lot of things that can't be. But we are just as perplexed by the whole thing and almost kind of in awe and wonder of the whole thing too. And we don't get it. We don't know why. We don't, and there's a lot of things that come that way. Too, when you're in this grace and this kind of transmission and different things, a lot of things come and, they come and then they go. And there's, even when I first had those so many Kriyas, that was a wonder then, and they're gone for the most part now. They didn't matter then now. And that's this too, for whatever reason, it sounds like there is some kind of shifting happening now on the planet. And it sounds like it's moving towards cleansing. And, this is something that we can all rejoice in and partake in to open the heart and the mind and the spirit because, to be open and available to this shift, in whatever way you do it in your practice and on your, if you want to say you're on a path or not on a path or just living your life in a regular way, nature and all that, and just enjoy it, breathe it in, and really know too that nothing that's of beauty and peace and love ever dies. And, we all are emanations of that beauty. And, however we can help, that's a wonderful thing. But this is really all I have to say. And, I do have to say, we are laughing at some of this too and some of the stuff in fun, and actually in good spirit of it. And of course, hoping and praying that, any on this side or that move forward. And if this is where it needs to be, it's where it is. And so, but, like Guruji said, if anything, it's entertaining. You can't deny that, right? So, and that's really all I have to say. And so just be well and